to the Board of Supervisors meeting, recess meeting for the month of April. We're about to wrap this month up, and we certainly appreciate you all being here. We're going to ask Supervisor Carver, if you doesn't mind, would you lead us in a word of prayer, please? Let's pray.
Father, just thank you for this time of year. Thank you for coming this evening, Lord. Thank you for this county and the employees here and the family represented here, Lord. Thank you for all your many blessings. Thank you for the Easter season, what that meant, Lord. To be with this board and the staff as we make our decision, we're going to speak with humility and grace as we proceed today. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Supervisor Carver. Again, thank you all for coming out this morning. We've got a full agenda, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it this morning. First on the agenda, we've got citizens' comment period. This is the time that any citizens can come before the Board of Supervisors for up to 3 minutes and voice any concerns that you may have. So at this time, we're now open for our citizens' comment period. Good morning, Mr. Turner.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to the board and President Alvin Turner. We have Miss Lena Smith. She got a little busy, but she okay that she went to the hospital. But the road that does is killing. The Albert Jackson Road. Miss Downs don't know whether they will do anything or not. Sunset. We have a young person that's driving a Hellcat. That's a vehicle that they got now. That in about 4 o'clock he come through racing. The children will be out after a while. We definitely don't want nobody to get hurt. And the situation with the road, one of the people felt like they put a curb in because it still began to sink even after the work that they have done on Sunset. The disability act. I have friends that have had knee replacement, hip replacement, and all, and putting those down things have gotten worse. But it's sad that we have people that's in place, and we have 6 people that have been through the rain. Shame on us.
Thank you, Mr. Turner, for those comments. Need a motion.
Motion for acknowledgement.
Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Tran to acknowledge comments. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Would there be anyone else that would like to approach the board for 3 minutes? If not, we will consider this portion of our agenda as being closed. Next on the agenda, we've got some employees that we want to recognize. We've got some new employees that came aboard with the county, and we're excited about it. But before we welcome our new employees, unfortunately, we've got an employee that's retiring coming up in June, and I really hate to see him go, but that's life. That's why we get up and come to work every day. So hopefully that at some point we'll be able to go home and relax a little bit. With that being said, I would like to ask Mr. Douglas Clark if he would come forward, please, and be recognized. Morning. Mr. Clark, we certainly want to thank you for all your years of service that you've given to Octavia County. You've done it with grace, you've done it with dignity, and you've been very professional about it. And your work speaks for yourself and everybody out there. It's really sad to hear that you're leaving. But we certainly want to wish you the best going forward, and hopefully you'll be back around. So with that, I would just like to ask if we could give Doug a hand clap. appreciate all that you do. I this is one of two guys that got enough nerve to hang a track off the side of that County Lake Levy bush hog. Nobody else has nerve to do that. Doug, thank you so much.
I asked Mr. Clark what he's gonna do to retire from he is, instant fact, he's a horse farrier, so he's gonna be tending the horses every day and wish his best of luck with that. All right.
Okay, next we've got some new employees, as I stated earlier. And since our new human resource officer came aboard, she's really put in some wonderful things to recognize our employees, and this is one of the things to bring them aboard. The board is very excited about this that she has enacted and bringing our new employees aboard. So I'm going to read this statement, and after I read this statement, we'll ask the Honorable Judge Leanne Turner to come and administer the oath. The statement says, today we want to take the opportunity to formally welcome our newest employees to Oktibbeha County government. Public service is both a responsibility and a privilege. Each of you has chosen to serve this community, and with that choice comes a commitment, not only to perform your duties well, but to do so with integrity, transparency, engagement, and stewardship of the public trust. As a board, we have adopted a strategic vision, mission, and values policy that serves as our guiding framework. This oath affirms our shared commitment to service and sets the standard for how we carry out the work of our county government. With that being said, would you all welcome Honorable Judge Leanne Turner to administer the oath. Now we want to ask our Human Resource Officer if she would like to call the employees forward.
Okay, all the new employees from the road department, if you'd like to come forward and get up here by picture, we'll be good. We want to welcome you to Oktibbeha County and thank you for coming to work with us. We're excited about you being here. And if possible, would you start with introducing yourself and saying what department you're in?
My name is William Outlaw. I'm Secretary.
My name is Jessica Carruthers. I'm Central Shop and a truck driver.
I'm Robert Lewis, same shop.
Maurice Moss, C shop operator.
Carlos Lee, A shop operator, truck driver.
We don't have further truck driver, another shop.
All right, wonderful. Welcome, everyone. All right, we're going to start with kind of a traditional oath. So if you'll raise your right hand, and I will state your name.
I, Jessica Carruthers,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
Do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully support
that I will faithfully support
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Mississippi,
and the Constitution of the State of Mississippi.
and that I will faithfully discharge
I will faithfully discharge
the duties of the office or position
the duties of office or position
upon which I am about to enter,
upon which I am founded.
with service as my guide.
To serve as my guide,
I pledge to uphold the ties
I pledge to uphold my ties,
that bind us to our community
to bind us to our community
and to each other.
and to each other.
Okay, now you can just, when I'll make the statement and then you'll say I do, if you agree. I pledge to act with transparency, fostering openness and truthful communications in my duties.
I do.
I pledge to conduct myself with unwavering integrity, ensuring honesty, fairness, and accountability.
I do.
I pledge to commit to genuine engagement, respectfully collaborating with colleagues, partners, and citizens.
I do.
I pledge to conduct diligent stewardship, responsibly managing the resources entrusted to Oktibbeha County.
I do.
All right, once again, now you will repeat after me. I understand that these values
I understand these values
are the foundation of my commitment
are the foundation of my commitment
to public service
to public service
in Oktibbeha County, Mississippi.
in the Oktibbeha Mississippi.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you all. Great
Thank
job.
you.
Well, thank you on behalf of the Board of Supervisors and welcome you to Occidental County government. We appreciate your willingness to serve. Look forward to the contributions you will make to our community. Thank you so very much. Okay, next, on the agenda, we have some presentations. Again, coming from our Human Resources Officer.
Good morning.
Morning.
So as April is recognized as both National County Government Month and Employee Appreciation Month, we want to take a moment to recognize the people who make Occidental County what it is. We are fortunate to have high-performing teams across our department, and we value the contributions of those employees. Today, we are recognizing the individuals within those teams who have been selected for demonstrating consistency and excellence in their work and in their service to Occidental County. I would like each department leader to introduce their employee and briefly highlight the contributions that led to this recognition. And once we're concluded, you'll come over here and I'll get a picture of you right here together, and then the next person will come up. Hi.
Good morning. Supervisor, Ms. Jennifer, thank you for allowing me this moment. So in the world of public safety, we often talk about our first responders, the voices that bridge the gap between a crisis and help that's on the way. Today it's my honor, distinct honor, to recognize one of our very best, Ms. Taya Becker. I'll try not to cry. Y'all bear with me. Taya has been with us since November of 2019 and serves as one of our lead communication specialists. Her time with us, she's answered the call during some of our community's darkest hours. She's processed staggering amount of highly traumatic incidents with a level of grace and composure that's nothing short of heroic. But Taya's impact goes far beyond her technical skill. She defines the culture of her shift. She oversees a team of 3 with a steady hand, and she's personally mentored and trained several of our newest and current employees. In my opinion, the greatest testament to the respect she commands is heard on the airways every single day. Taya has cultivated such profound rapport with our field responders that most of them, without fail, check in with a good morning over the radio every single shift. And every evening when they clock out. In a high-stress profession where brevity is the norm, the fact that our deputies take that extra second is a direct reflection of the warmth, leadership, and command presence Taya brings to the console. In our agency, we have a phrase for the kind of reliability Taya displays. She holds it down. No matter how chaotic the night or how heavy the workload, Taya is the anchor. Her devotion to our mission and her selfless service to our community sets a standard of excellence that inspires everyone around her, including myself. Taya, your service has always shined a bright light in the dark world we all live in. On behalf of the agency, the Occidental County Board of Supervisors, and Occidental County as a whole, thank you for your unwavering commitment and for being the calm within the storm. We're incredibly proud to have you on our team.
Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, Board. Good morning, y'all. Sergeant Kelly, I'm the acting jail administrator at the Occidental County Sheriff's Department. This morning, we are here to recognize Miss Sergeant Mary Brandon. Sergeant Brandon is recognized for her outstanding dedication, professionalism, and unwavering commitment to duty. Beginning her career as a part-time jailer in 2013, Sergeant Brandon demonstrated early on strong work ethic and dedication. In 2017, she transitioned to a full-time jailer where she has continued to excel and set high standards for others to follow. Sergeant Brandon consistently goes above and beyond what is expected. She is known for always making herself available to assist whether on duty or off duty. She can be relied on to answer her phone and respond in critical situations whenever needed. Her willingness to step up and support her team in any manner speaks volumes about her dedication and dependability. In addition to her availability, Sergeant Brandon approaches her job with the utmost professionalism and is highly attentive to details of jail operations, ensuring procedures are followed correctly and the facility runs smoothly and inmates are taken care of accordingly in a professional manner. Her vigilance and commitment to maintaining high standards contribute greatly to the overall effectiveness of the team. Sergeant Brandon's work ethic, reliability, and professionalism make her truly a deserving recipient of this recognition. She is an asset to the department and a positive example for her peers. On behalf of Sheriff Phelps, Chief Johnson, Captain Word, and myself, we are honored to present you with this award.
Ms. Collier, if you would come forward.
Next time I'm gonna pay these words. One, two, three.
There it is.
Unlike the others, I chose to surprise Ms. Collier with this one. She may not forgive me, but Ms. Collier has worked with Oktibbeha County for a number of years. She's demonstrated a capability that has allowed her to rise up through the ranks. She started over at the road department as the administrative assistant over there. Demonstrated an exceptional capability to manage and work with that department and keep that department straight. Seeing that tremendous capability, I think it was wise for Miss Emily to recognize her potential and to ask her to come over to work for the county administrator's office. And most of you know that the county administrator's office is the heartbeat of the county. Everything that goes on in this county in some form or fashion comes through the county administrator's office. And if the county administrator's office is the heartbeat of the county, then Ms. Deanna Collier is the heartbeat of the county administrator's office. She demonstrates tremendous leadership on a day-to-day basis. She is exceptionally talented in her role. I would dare to say that without Ms. Collier and her ability to support the other staff and to back up certain roles in the county, we would be hard pressed to keep this county moving on a day-to-day basis. I only started here a little over a year ago, and I'm going to tell you it's been a tremendous privilege and a tremendous, I'm very grateful for her capability and all that she does for Oktibbeha County. So for consistently demonstrating excellence in performance, teamwork, initiative, and professionalism in service to Oktibbeha County, I would like to present this certificate of excellence to Ms. Deanna Collier and the work that she does.
Yes, I should.
It shouldn't have been a surprise to her if she'd been reading her packet ahead of time.
One, two. Congratulations. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I think most of you in this room already know Dr. Lori Grace,
Yes.
but it's important that we take a moment to truly recognize the scale of what she does for Central Lock Hall Fire Department and this entire county. As volunteer fire chief at Central Lock Hall, Lori's dedication to our county is unmatched. Lori has contributed more hours than any other volunteer in the county, period. Beyond the hours, whether it's a medical call or structure fire, she is consistently one of our most reliable responders, consistently appearing in the top percentage of emergency calls every year, year after year. But Lori's impact goes beyond the fire ground. When we needed to overhaul our data infrastructure, she stepped up to manage our image trend reporting system and lead the complex integration with yours. We simply cannot say enough about what she brings to the table, and it is honestly hard to find the right words to capture everything Lori does for us. It's my honor, on behalf of Octave Hall County Fire Service, it's an honor to represent this award to Dr. Lori Grace. Please join us in showing us her appreciation. She didn't know anything about it either. I'm surprised.
Yes, I knew that this morning when I was visiting with her outside.
Yeah. I do have that part of being a professor. I can be oblivious to everything still. 6 years retired.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. President, distinguished board of Tillamook County. It is indeed a privilege on this morning to stand before each and every last one of you. One thing that comes to mind is Proverbs 3:5. Trust in the Lord with all thy heart. I'm going to leave it at that. Trust the Lord with all thy heart. And so on today, I had the opportunity, Ms. Jennifer reached out to me, I had the opportunity, even though there's only two of us in our department, and I think we are a duo when it comes down to handling different emergencies in Oktibbeha County and assisting and filling in when need to. So on this morning, I would like to just say a few words of encouragement to Connor. So in emergency management, our success depends on who's committed, dependable, and willing to step up when it matters the most. So day in and day out, they demonstrate professionalism, dedication, and a genuine commitment to our citizens. So whether it's doing regular operations or high pressure situations, they can always be counted on to do the job and do it well. So on this morning, I would like to present our award on behalf of our department to Connor Maynard. I'm a firm stickler when we are serving our community. I always say it's not a job, it's not a title, it's not a position. What it is an assignment. We are on an assignment. God gives us the opportunity to share that assignment, to share our expertise, and to serve others. And I thought, what other person? There was only two of us. Who should get an award for service? Day in and day out, I'm texting Connor, he's texting me, I'm calling him, he's calling me, and we coordinate effortlessly. And so on today, on behalf of the Oktibbeha County Emergency Management, I present to you, Connor, this award, the Certificate of Excellence. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Many that know me, I'm a man of few words. Really. I want to say thanks to our Human Resource Jennifer Franklin, County Administrator Wayne Carpenter, his staff, and the entire Board of Supervisors for all you all do. I'm here with Casey Minich. Casey Minich, he's the Deputy Sheriff. He was hired October 20 of 2023. He brings over 18 years of experience in law enforcement. Prior to joining the Ottawa County Sheriff Office, he worked as a sheriff there with Monroe County and a jailer with the Lee County Sheriff Department. Deputy Minich was a patrolman. Normally they go out, to answer calls, work reports, accidents and things of that nature. As we were coming on, we received a new reporting system, 365. It encompassed all our report writing, ABL, video tracking, body cam video, and it allows us to follow the case through to make sure that we have everything that we need. Deputy Minich, from a patrol standpoint, it was not his duties or responsibility to learn the system, but he took upon himself to learn the system, and he had exceptional dedication and commitment to learning, and it has been recognized for his effort in acquiring the knowledge about the Ottawa County new RMS system. The unique and complex operating system encompasses various functionalities, including video recording, vehicle tracking, department inventory, policy compliance, and numerous other day-to-day features. Deputy Minich asked to learn the system. Deputy Minich proactively recognized the department need and took it upon himself to familiarize himself with the system. This initiative and willingness to go above and beyond have made him a valuable asset to the Ottawa County Sheriff Department. He goes on to help other deputies from a patrol standpoint to understand the system. When something goes wrong, they call on him. When I run into something that I don't understand, I scream his name. He comes running, and he basically allows this system to operate the way that it should. We're lucky and a blessing to have him with us. And on behalf of Sheriff Shankfeld and our entire Ottawa County Sheriff Department, I am proud to present him with the certificate of excellence.
Good morning, board. Thank you. And Jennifer, thank you. And County Admin, thank you. Even though I have a full staff, our office runs a lot, it really runs smooth even when I'm not there. But there was one that was in particular that comes to my mind when I done this. Haley come to me about a little over 3 years ago, and I've kind of had to stay on her a little bit, but she grew. It's just like she just blossomed into this big flower. Haley has been to where if you need help, she's there. She steps in, she helps everybody. She's cross-trained in the office, and we couldn't make it without her on a day-to-day basis. So I'm so excited to give her this certificate of excellence and thank her for everything that she has done in the Chancery Clerk's office.
For today. Congratulations.
Congratulations. The public see the board and they might think, well, that's the face of Ottawa County. See Sheriff Phelps, and he's the face of the Sheriff Department. Ms. Livingston, she's the face of the Chancery Clerk's office. But today demonstrates who the real heroes truly are. And that's the people that you hardly ever see, you hardly ever hear from. But I'm telling you, without those individuals, there is no way that Oktibbeha County can keep the doors open. So I want to thank Human Resource Officer so much for putting this in. This is absolutely wonderful. Gives us an opportunity to see the employees and really get a more in-depth understanding of what they do on a day-to-day basis, see just how critical they are to the function of Oktibbeha County. So let's give them another. Okay, next we're gonna move on into our agenda. Next on the agenda, we've got the consent agenda. Can I get a motion to approve our consent agenda?
We have Mr. Marsh with the,
Okay, I'm sorry, I did, I apologize. Yeah, we've got Benchmark Construction Corporation. Come forward, please. Good morning. Again, I apologize.
that's okay. I feel a little bit inept since I don't have an award to give. My name is David Marsh. I'm owner of Benchmark Construction. Started in 1979. This is Bo Fleming. Bo and I have worked together for decades, I believe. He's built several of our projects. And if I'm not mistaken, you received some information about us earlier, so I won't go into all that. But we built more county jails than anybody in Mississippi. And I want to tell you what we do and why we've had a pretty good bit of success. When we come on board, we do more than just be your contractor to build it. We deliver plans, site analysis, every kind of feasibility that the county would need in order to decide if they would need a new jail. But you don't pay anything for that. If you pulled the trigger right now, it would be well into a year before you say, okay, this is what we need to do. And that's what we enjoy. We always work with certificates of participation, COPS. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that, but it's a delivery method which integrates government and business. But we take the project very seriously. We work with the sheriff as to what he needs. We work with the county to be sure that this is what they want, and mainly if you can afford it. And we've worked with counties for 3-4 years, and they decided it's just not going to work. And that's unfortunate, but the county hasn't wasted any money. We've actually had some very small counties that have talked about, a jail for 25 inmates. And we looked at their history and said, well, you guys only have 5 or 6 inmates. I can't in good faith say you need to build a jail. You need to farm them out to another county. I mean, they were ready to vote to build a new one, and it wasn't the right thing to do. Don't get me wrong, we're in it to make a profit. I would have liked to have built the jail, but that was just not right. And I think we've had success being on the team of the county to do what's best for the county, not necessarily what's monetarily beneficial for Benchmark. And we've done this numerous times. And we know the lease purchase process thoroughly. For example, the lease purchase process, there's a statute, I think it's section 31-8-1 Mississippi Code 1972. But anyway, that says that you can only build a jail within the county seat of the county. That limits it. But you can get a local and private bill in the legislature and get that taken away where you can build a jail anywhere you want it. Along with that, that statute says that you can finance it for only 20 years. Well, in that same in that same local and private legislation, you can ask for it for 30 years. So that's a big difference. And we're doing that now we're doing Hines County Jail, which unfortunately has been in the paper for a long time, and it's 880 beds. We're also looking at one and doing it for Madison County. It's only got a 10-bed expansion. So we built them anywhere in between. But the whole process of what we do, there's got to be a point person. Everybody in this room has got their day full. That point person on these past projects has been me. Not just my company, but me personally. And I get all these answers, and I bring them to you for your consideration. The people that you do your financing with, your underwriter, Raymond James, I think Lindsay Ray does your stuff. Butler Snow, I think Troy works with y'all. And government consultants, Nick Shore and Lynn Norris. We've worked with these guys for years. And I don't have them as a reference on the information I gave you, but call them. And if they say we're good guys, give us some consideration. If they say, don't touch those guys with a 10-foot pole, you need to eliminate me. But again, repeat myself, we do a lot more than building, and it doesn't happen overnight. I think the fastest one that we've ever done, they knew us, they said we're ready to pull the trigger, they had the money, and we were in construction in 10 months. If you guys are just thinking about it, and there's a realistic possibility that you might do it, it's probably going to be a couple of years before you come online. That's just how long it takes, because we've got to do all of our homework, and things could come up for the county, unexpected expenditures that we just can't afford it right now. We're going to put it off indefinitely. That's okay, but we would not ask the county to spend money and not know what you're going to get. You wouldn't do that in your personal life. Most do it. I wouldn't. I got to know what I'm going to get, what it's going to look like, what's the capacity, and how much is it going to cost. For example, one of the nuances of a lease purchase cost is that what we call the FF&E, furniture, fixtures, and equipment, desk, chairs, and things like that. You can't finance those because they don't have an expected life expectancy of over 20 years. But whenever you have the millage to allocate for the jail, that starts off on day one, whether this millage you already have because it's been redirected from other expenditures for the county, or if you raise millage, well, you're going to have that for a year. So the financing is worked out, so you don't make a payment on your debt for a whole year. Well, you've got this cash built up, and that cash is what pays for that FF&E, the computers, chairs, and things like that. So I don't say that we're flawless, that we have every answer, but I've personally done this over 20 times, and if there's something that's really different from what would apply to Ottawa County, I don't see it. But the main thing, in repeating myself, is you've got to have enough information to find out if you want to pursue it. And that's what we do. We bring you this information, and again, the PDD, we've worked with Golden Triangle on at least two other projects. Rudy Johnson, he's familiar with us. And when we come on board, we have it's a non-binding resolution of intent, but what that does signify is the board has understood the process, yet we want to move forward. We're not committed to spending any money with anybody. We're going to take care of the architectural, the engineering, survey, soil test, all that. We take care of that. And all your finance people, all the people I just recited, government consultants, Raymond James, Butler Snow, they do all that work with us. And of course, they don't get paid unless there's a closing on the financing. Another thing that we've done here recently has worked closely with BAM. I'm sure you're not familiar with that. That's Build America Mutual. Now, that's a company in New York that insures the debt. So, and you guys have got a great financial situation, but when you get that insurance, which I don't want to spout out any dollar amounts, that can equate, the last one we did, to 1.5 less than what your certificates would cost. I don't know if I'm losing anybody. I know this real well, so forgive me if I'm saying things.
Mr. Marsh, what are best practices for location? One of the first things that if we're going to do this is determining location. That's one of the first things you learn in just any business practice that you do. Is there a best practice as to how you approach this?
Well, yes, there is. And I don't want to say we're a key player in this, but we do play a role. First of all, that brings up another good point. The logistics of where it is. Now, is it in the city or outside? If not, next year we can take care of that. So that's not an issue. Site utilities. Do we have enough water pressure? Do we have gas, electric? Do we have roads to it? That's a consideration. I've got to take a soil test. The ones we're doing in Hinds County, I'm veering off a little bit. They turned it over to us. They said, you pick the site, you pick the architect, and build us a jail for 880 inmates. Well, we found the site because it was in close proximity to downtown. The characteristics of the soil were the worst. It was on clay, and it had undulating contours, but that was the best location for it, and that's what they chose. But to answer your question, what we've done on a lot of them is we build a jail, and then 30 feet away, because that's a firewall, we also build a justice court and the sheriff's office. So if you have a remote area, you don't have to transport your inmates all the way back in and have a chauffeur service for your justice court. You walk them across the yard, it's fenced in 30 feet, and that's where that process takes place. I don't know if I've answered your question, but there's several pieces to the Rubik's Cube as to where it should be. And
You did. We're just in the, I guess we're on the front side of this, trying to figure out what this is going to look like. And I think from a utility standpoint and getting our prisoners where they need to be and all of these issues, I don't know that we're anywhere near.
I will say, yeah, I know the real estate officer location is different from what we desire. Location in the jail may not be in close proximity to residential neighborhoods and this and that. My question would be, this cost analysis for the jail, if that's done at no cost to the county, hypothetically, if we went with another competitor, we would still be out known, could we use that for RFQ process? Have you ever seen it where you provide an analysis, but we went with a competitor? We're not bound with anything, any kind of resolution or anything.
no, I haven't seen that. In the time that we spend working with you, hopefully we prove ourselves that we're merit and want to do that. But no, we haven't seen anybody share our information with others. There's no obligation. I mean, there's no contract signed where, this is privileged information. We have a good relationship with the board when we get started.
Honestly, it sounds, this board is not really too deep in the conversation yet, but it sounds good to have free work with no cost to the county, and especially for getting soil testing. That's pretty extensive. The second, two trains, thought one, you pick a contractor and start with the beginning, and then another is you build a case of where the location is, the analysis of the soil and everything, and then you pick somebody to partner with. So, but I definitely thank you for coming and speaking today. I'm going to reach out to some of those names that you talked to, you mentioned, and other people.
Yeah, the finance people, and we have had several that we've had South Mississippi. We analyzed 4 different sites, and long story short, it never happened. There was a feud between the city and the county, and the city didn't want it to go outside the city limits, which that trumps your desire to go outside, because the city has to say, yes, okay. Or when it gets down to the legislature, that local and private, if that city objects to it, it's going to fold.
If there were a jail of 100 to 200 inmate capacity that you wanted to showcase your work, which county would that be? Do y'all have an ideal place that you want?
Yeah, probably the one, I guess, Bo, is Cahoma, the root County? Cahoma County. We had a good working relationship with them.
We can make a phone call.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, I just thought y'all had one that might have shine.
Who you gonna call? But also, on these projects, when you close on the financing, that's all the money you've got, period. So, we're hiring the architect, we're hiring the engineers, you got one contract, it's with us, and there can't be any change orders. I mean, I can't come back to you and say, the architect I hired messed up, I need some more money, look at me like I got two heads. And it can't come out of the general fund. That's not unless the county wants something extra, then that's on y'all. But what we do is get the plans and everybody signs off on them, almost literally. We go through them to be sure that there's no misunderstanding. If there is a problem, we take care of that. But I don't want to say we're the know-it-all, but we've done so many, I just can't see anything. Kind of the system that we use, not to get into the minutia of the construction, is blocked with concrete and rebar and concrete planks. And, they can't break out of that unless somebody lets them out. So that's the method we've used, and we've used it time and time again, and it works. That's the way we're building Hines County.
I wanted to ask, how old is that Coleman County jail that y'all built, like?
6, 7?
Finished it in 2019, so that makes it about 7.
I'm old enough, I thought you meant 19 something. 2000. Thank you.
Sadly, I'm with you.
I was waiting for a number. I go, man, that is a lot older than I thought. Bo would know better than me. And again, and I don't know I don't want to dictate what the county needs or wants, but when you have a justice court that close, it's a real time saver, and it's the most economical portion of the project, because justice court and sheriff's office, they're built wood frame, trusses, shingles, just basic building, because that's not a secured area. That's office space. So I've seen a lot of designs that I really don't like, where they have a justice court and the sheriff's office in the containment building, so to speak, and you have to build that out of block and concrete and everything else. And the cost per square foot is dramatically different. I think in some of the information I've sent you, you can see photographs where you see a building 30 feet away from the detention space. But that's, I think that's all I wanted to touch on. I want to check here and see. Again, you're dealing with one entity when it starts. So if there's a conflict, which some projects have, there's finger pointing. It's the contractor's fault, it's the architect's fault. That doesn't happen. If it's a fault or if there's an issue, that's on me.
So what have you seen of your years of experience? You mentioned you all search for the location. Say, for instance, you find the perfect location. It's great to build a facility on, great parking, great access, great for expansion, but then you don't have water pressure, you don't have proper power to operate the facility. Which one of those would be the one to say, okay, yeah, this is a super great location, but trying to get proper water, proper power and stuff like that? Would that be any scenario to where you would say, okay, we just need to find another location?
Yes, sir, and it has been, because if you don't have, let's just take the water pressure. I'm gonna have to have at least an 8-inch line. Or if I don't, then I've gotta have a pump that's gotta be maintained all the time for adequate pressure for the sprinkler system, for domestic water and everything. That's a long-term issue that you're gonna have to deal with. So right there, that's a pretty big negative, unless, like at Hinds County, and it's a different deal because it's 880 beds, we built a water tower. Well, you know, right now, that's probably between $5 and $10 million just for the water tower. So, keeping my blinders on for the economy, I'm probably going to suggest, you know, the one that has the utilities there versus the primary location. And hopefully there's some property that the county might already own or can get at a reasonable price. We've worked it both ways.
You haven't looked at property in Tullahawk County lately.
I'm sorry?
It's very expensive here to buy property, unfortunately. Prices have gotten outrageous.
Is there any possibility that the county would have property in inventory?
I think we do own some property, let me put that way.
That's what I would look at first, because, you know, if it's, no matter what area it's in, I take that back. Most of the time, you know, somebody was not in my backyard, I don't want it closed. Their rationale is there, and they're entitled to that. But then, you know, what does it cost? And then you get into that, and you have to get free appraisals, and you can pay more than the appraised value if you can substantiate that this uniqueness of this property and the proximity is worth it. It's just something you have to go through, but you do have to get free prices on that. And then what I've seen in the past is when you say, okay, I've picked out some, well, then here comes somebody else out of nowhere and said, well, mine's better than that, or mine's better than that, or why are you doing that? But that's just a process you go through, and we look at all of them. We had one that we did build. We looked at 4 locations, and we had to analyze an existing blueberry plant, because 2 supervisors said, this can easily be converted into a jail. And I'm thinking, I didn't really say what I was thinking, but I didn't think the conversion of a blueberry plant into a detention facility was the right thing to do. But we did go through the exercise. Maybe I don't know. Maybe we can do it. But we do that so that when the board has a question, why'd you do this? You don't say, well, just because. Well, here's the facts laid out, and this is what we decided. We never want to leave you guys unprotected, so to speak. So that would be one of the things we do. And since you're at this stage, it's going to be a while before this project comes online. But if we have it's a non-binding resolution of intent, I mean, everybody's okay with what we do, we would start right away. We would work with everybody's available time. I'm going to be available whenever you want me. But anyway, if I'm taking too much time.
Just have a question. When you think about unnecessary parking and things of that nature, how many acres, if necessary, do you normally build a jail on? 1 acre, 2 acres?
No, sir. I'm thinking we've built one for 150 inmates, and I believe it was it 10 or 12 acres total? 12 acres.
Did that include a justice court?
it was adequate, because you have to have that for when court is being held, but for regular visitation and that type thing, and the employee is not that much, but you have to do it like a parking lot for football, you know, most of the time you don't need it, but when a game's going on, it gets filled up. We look at all that.
So for like a 200-bed facility for the justice court with 12 acres work, or we need more?
We would have to look at the contours, we would lay it out and see, and we'd have a site plan showing, okay, this is where this is, and, you know, we would have some substantiation for our recommendation. But there's a lot of things to take into consideration before you pull a trigger, and what we think that is the reasonable thing to do is for y'all not to shell out a bunch of money and maybe come up with a good shape, you know. As stewards of the county's coffers, nobody can throw stones at you for wasting.
If this makes the board's approval, I would suggest that the county administrator and I try to dig into some more information on this and then bring it back to y'all, maybe talk to them and some others and do whatever y'all want us to do. I know that there's a big old question mark out there for us in general right now, and I don't know if we're gonna find out all those answers today, but that's up to y'all.
I do have, I didn't mean to be presumptuous, but I do have the non-binding resolution of intent for your review. It was drafted by Butler Snow. You know, I just got information.
Those guys? No, I'm just kidding.
I would like to have a copy.
We use Butler Snow too.
But well, as a matter of fact, on every project we've worked with Butler Snow. Government consultants on every one we've worked on. Raymond James, probably 3 or 4, because the county might have had a relationship with somebody else, and I'm sure you already know this, but we also, even though it's not our call and we don't get into it, we see the effort that other people are making. And Raymond James is they just done an excellent job.
Good people.
We've got one in Jeff Davis County. How long ago was that, Bo?
3 years.
3 years ago? And Lindsay Ray worked harder than anybody else. And we got that project financed at 2.6%. 2.6. She sold all the certificates to a bank that took everything. This is not that. Here's multiple copies of the resolution of intent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Robert.
Certainly sounds promising. It's always good to lead with no money up front. But we certainly want to take this under consideration and have our attorney and our county administrator look over your resolution and bring the sheriff in and get him involved and going over this. So at this time, I guess we'll take a motion to table until further review. Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
And the person you can deal with mostly, for good or bad, would be me. So
You all will serve as a project manager.
I appreciate everyone's time and letting me take so long this morning.
Not a problem. Thank you. This is an important issue. Thank you so much. And now we're down to the consent agenda. Need a motion to approve unless there's someone that would like to pull an item off. If not, can we get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Any discussion?
Yeah, that was to authorize, participation, the opioid, settlement. Is that something we need to, vote separately on? I see that it was listed as a non-consent item.
I don't think we would need to vote on it separately. I may have made an error in my classification on the cover
I
sheet.
think it was.
I mean, if y'all, if you'd like to, we certainly can, but it's the routine. We've done so many of these at this point. Thank you for that.
Any other discussion? Not all in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. And next on the agenda, we've got our fire coordinator, Mr. Patrick Warner. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Kind of want to give you an update over the weekend. It's kind of coincidence of Dr. Grace and we're doing this about the central thing, the central fire department here. We had roughly Central alone had 11 calls this weekend in a structure fire. So we stay pretty busy in the county, and she stays pretty busy also. This morning, Dr. Hall County Fire Services recently modernized its fleets by selling 2021 Rosenbauer pumper to Greenville Fire Department. This sale was finalized for a total of $555,000. To maintain our emergency response capabilities for the Central Volunteer Fire Department, the department seeks to utilize these funds to purchase a new 2026 Pierce Freightliner. This unit will serve as our primary response vehicle. This is a state contract pricing, resulting in a net impact due to the sale of the previous truck. So I'm here this morning to ask for the approval to purchase a 2026 Pierce commercial pumper for the Central Volunteer Fire Department for the amount of $497,632.
That still give you a savings of $55,368.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As a result of the sale of the pump.
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So that's a good sale.
Yes, sir.
Motion for approval.
Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Warren. Okay, next on the agenda, we've got our road manager, Mr. Collins.
Good morning.
Good morning.
One quick thing, I'm not gonna take long. But, with that being said, you all should have in your agenda, if you don't, I have some road project initiation forms.
They do have those big. They have in their package.
Okay.
Yes, there's 2 sections.
All right, well, I'm gonna pass out some for you all to look at. You got one and I got another. That's just, the same thing, it just gives you a detail of what's what.
No, they've got these.
Okay, all right, okay, all right.
You haven't added any, right?
No,
Okay.
When it comes to picture, we got to touch, feel it, go look at it.
All right, got what the administrator and I have been working on for the past, Wayne, about a year, is trying to get where we can. We've been trying to get where we can get the project initiated, where you all can see what we want to work on, get your approval on it, and all of them are there for every district. This is just some that if we can get the approval on it, you all sign off on it, that'll get the project going. That'll give us where we can initiate this project, pending funding. So, if you agree with that project in your district, and so I would like if you all would look those projects over, and
I'd like to point out that these projects are broken down into 2 categories, Category A and Category B. The Category A projects, there is sufficient funding to go ahead and appropriate funds to do those projects. Category B, as of today, there's not sufficient funding allocated to the proper places. So we wouldn't be able to appropriate the funds until we were to allocate additional funding in some areas, but we could go ahead and approve the fund or the projects so that they could get on the list and get on the shelf, so Victor could start planning and looking for them, and then we would all have a good list of what we need to be working toward.
Where does it identify A and B?
Which one do I gotta do?
On the sheet.
That's good.
My concern, however, and I looked over both of those, category A is okay because we already have funding
That's correct.
for category A.
Mhm.
But category B is just, kind of like a wish list if I get funding later.
Exactly.
and we
Yes,
will-
sir. We would like for them to be approved so that we can set them on the shelf pending appropriation of funds.
So that's like adding them to the 4-year road plan?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're building a 4-year road plan.
Essentially, yes,
That
ma'am.
is already
At some
been-
point, as I get all of this, as we walk through the
And-
initiation process
And what,
add them to the list.
and the reason,
I'd like to continue.
yeah, okay.
May I continue?
And these all category 398?
I do have some concern about that. Now, category A is okay. I wouldn't want, however, to finally we get a funding approval for category B, and category B get in the head of category A. Because that is, funding from the 2024 bond. So we wouldn't want a new bond to come in, and then we fund projects from the new bond when we've been had promises for the funding of projects in bond 2024. And we complete those projects first before we move on to others, because these are new projects. These are new projects, but these other projects been owned, they've been on the 4-year road plan for years.
Supervisor William, excuse me.
I just
These
have-
projects in Project B they're on the 4-year road plan. The projects in Project A, with approval, we're ready to hit the ground running with those as you speak within the next few days. So those projects in Project A, we hope to have those finished within the next 30 days.
That's good.
So that's the reason I want to get approval. I want you to approve the projects if they are what you want to do in Project A and Project B, so we can go ahead on and set them up for if funding comes in, we can fund these projects.
Yeah.
But the ones in category A, we want to get them approved. We want to get a signature of approval on those now, so we can actually go ahead on and get that started. I've got guys waiting to start hauling clay gravel on one and building on one and overlaying on the other one. So they are ready to go to work on those. And we need to get those, if we possibly can, get those voted on, signed and approved, so I can go to work on those.
I just have one more, just basic concern is what I have. And, I'm not trying to stop the project because both of them are good projects. Both category A and category B are good projects, and we do need to move forward. It's just that category B, I hope, all the supervisors have had an opportunity to, give some projects that they would like to see being considered too with the new funding. And that's something, I guess, that if you would allow us to talk to you further about,
Yes, sir.
what projects we'd like to consider in our districts, too as well, because I don't think everybody got a project in category B. I don't believe now, I've looked at those, but I don't believe, everyone has a project in category B. But that's a communication thing that I'd like to have with you to make sure that, District 5 and other districts too have projects for consideration.
There are some other projects that I am working on getting the numbers on. They're not in this because these are some,
right.
I didn't want to bring too many projects up here but there are some numbers from other districts that
Right.
That is gonna have to be approved, you know, we're gonna do that at a later time. But we're trying to get this done now so we can actually, we can actually go to work.
I motion for approval on that, I motion for approval on both category A and category B.
Second.
The money and all of it right here. Someone that's got
I gotta ask you, there's 4 roads that are getting immediate attention with districts, on there.
District 4,
Johnson Drive,
District 5,
Harris Road,
District 5,
Lean Lane,
District 5.
all these are 4 and 5.
And supervisor, that's the only district, those are the only 2 districts that have funding available to start on that project. The others, the funding is not available. That's why they're in category B.
I'll second that motion.
Okay. Been motioned by Supervisor Williams and second by Supervisor Trainer. Motion by Supervisor Trainer. Okay, motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Trainer. I apologize, I was trying to get some numbers straight here.
And let's get approval on A, and then I need to give some more detail on B.
Okay.
I need to discuss that a little bit more.
Can you amend your motion?
Amend to, motion for approval on category A.
Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Trainer, that we approve category A projects. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. All right. On category B, those are the ones that approve. The funding is not available. And one thing, Supervisor Trainer, 3 and 4 is the same. We just need to make a decision on how we want to do that. So that's on 3 and 4 is just one project. We just need to get together and figure out how we want to do it. One of them is to do a complete overlay, and the other one is to do a repair overlay. And that's some sections that need to be repaired, and they'll do a reseal. So that's an option that was in there. So that category 3 and 4, we just need to figure out which one. And which way we want to go.
We're talking projects in category B.
Okay. And category 1 and 2 is in District 1. Category 5 is in District 3. And 3 and 4 is in District 2. Those are what I've worked on right now. So
I think District 3 has some 4-year road plan money, but we'll confirm that.
Okay.
That's
You do, yes, sir.
Yeah, we'll confirm that.
now we can move it, if you want to, we can go ahead on and approve that. If you want to do that project, let's get it approved today, because when I hit the ground rolling, I don't want to stop.
Yeah, our county administrator said we do have.
Okay.
for that.
So
We'll move it, move it.
Move it number 5.
So we want to move 5, project number 5 out of category B up to category A
Correct.
funding.
Correct. So with amendment to Supervisor Williams' motion.
I make the motion we amend.
Okay. Motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Williams, that we amend the motion and to move Hollyville Road up to category A for work to begin. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, one other thing is not, and I'm just gonna hand this out to you. It wasn't in the board package, so I'm gonna let you all take a look at this. Back on the last meeting, we were working on some stuff about signage for no litter. And what I did was I went out and I'm gonna ask this we can do this at a later time, but I will pass this out, and give y'all a chance to have this and look it over. But I'm asking that we, take funding from the trash budget and buy no littering signs to go throughout the county. And this is a proposal of different signs and everything that, that we can put those signs out. We wanna do them in about 50 signs.
I like to make the most move forward on this now, because our need is great. So whatever is proposed, I think has been considered, I think we gotta move forward.
It's been motion by Supervisor Trainer, second by Supervisor Little. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes.
I've got two different signs, if you'll look.
Yeah.
If y'all will pick which one you would like to go with, I would like for y'all to.
What's wrong with the second one? That look plain and simple, but to the point.
Okay.
But to the point. To me.
Well, it won't say adopt a mile, it will actually say no litter.
You get a combination of both of them. I mean, both the same price, huh?
The price is on the front of
Both of them seem like they're the same price.
Look on your front sheet, it'll tell you the cost of the sign.
Yeah, I think one's $22.57, the other, unless that's the same sheet.
They are close to the same price. One is $25.83, yeah, well, both of them the same price.
Yeah, I mean, unless you mix right.
Well, they're like $6 bids.
Yeah.
You go to both of them and then figure out which one,
Well, I mean, it's up to the board
Is he gonna have the fine?
On my sheet, both of them.
we can have that put on, that's what I want to, I need to find out today what we need to,
What the maximum fine by law is.
somebody have to answer that.
Isn't it 500?
I know that the board will have to approve that before the sheriff department can actually, if they've seen it.
I think it's a law, like you have to, like, you know, your fine, I think that, it's in there, I'm not sure what it is, but it's $200, $500.
I will get together, myself and the administrator will get together and figure that out, and I guess come up with a good signage.
If I'd have known we was gonna present this, I'd have had it created.
Well, I thought you had it, but you didn't get it, it didn't get to you, and I'm sorry.
That's all right.
I was doing a lot last week. I was trying to get a covered in on Wade Road out there and fire station yard finished up, so we had a lot going on, and I was back and forth running through all of it. But that's the reason it got put on my desk and it didn't get moved until this morning.
So what do y'all want to do? Y'all want a combination of both sides, and we add the we add the fine to it? If we can. Or, y'all get up with,
Wayne and I'll give it,
as long as it
we'll work on
the
that.
fine on that. 'Cause I don't want anybody
Well, the
to
main
fine.
thing, I just wanted to make sure that y'all, and I want to take this from the trash fund.
That's the big thing, we just need to make sure y'all understand how it's being funded.
Yeah, that's the main thing. We want to take that from the trash fund.
Sideways from.
Yeah. Well, this is a trash campaign.
It is.
Mr. Conley.
Yes, sir.
Mr. President. Yes, since we're talking about trash, it's a problem.
It is.
It's a problem all over the county, and probably all over the state of Mississippi.
Yeah.
It's a problem in the nation. Some citizens have suggested the possibility of using beer cans. Of course, we have to figure out how the sheriff department will use those beer cans and interject those findings from the beer can into usage and put it to use. maybe find some.
Can you step up here just a second? Yeah.
That's to keep us from actually purchasing.
Well,
Some of the
we
citizens-
already,
some of the citizens-
y'all already approved the purchase of cameras, and I think you all have them. So I would have to coordinate with the sheriff department, so that's the reason I asked him to step up. I would have to coordinate with the sheriff department, we'd have to coordinate maybe signals in areas time from time. So if that's what the board wants to do, you know, I can coordinate with the sheriff department, we can work on that. So putting them in different locations from time to time. It seemed to have worked pretty good out on the bridge, what they kept painting graffiti on, and we put cameras out there, and it seemed that bridge hadn't been defaced in a while since we painted it. So I think if we put them out and maybe put signs out that the cameras are being put out, that may help the situation some. We definitely need to do something about that.
I guess my my statement was in regards to some of the citizens want to purchase their own cameras. They've gotten to the point where they have had enough of littering
Well, I have
on
too.
their property. So they're willing to purchase their own cameras. And I don't know how those cameras could be coordinated with our effort in terms of what we are doing.
Incident we ran across the path, a lot of times, the property owner would have an idea of who's doing the illegal dumping, or we have trash, we go through the trash, et cetera, try to identify that person. You know, a lot of time, these people just go to a random area, they just dump trash.
Well, one of the trash situations is the trash that just roll out up and down the road. That's why a big problem is.
Yeah.
And that's what these signs are going. They're gonna be put on the roads, where we coming in the roads to try to do something about
So
something.
you have your littering and you have your illegal dumping.
Yeah. We're working on littering right now.
But anytime we see anybody and we can identify whoever doing the littering or the dumping, we are getting in the justice court and let the system, work this out.
We've been talking a little bit about, with Jennifer about coordinating, doing a no littering campaign and trying to make the community aware, of that, and with these signs coming up, goes right along with it. But we're trying to maybe come up with some type of logo, litter matters, something like that, with the sign on it. So can we, if we approve these, let him get with Jennifer on the signage and stuff, Jennifer and Wayne them on the signage, that would be put out there. So it would all coordinate together, with the campaign, if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. I, last week, when we shot a little video with the mayor, talking about litter, for a litter campaign. So, yeah, we could get together and let Jennifer put something together.
You maybe do a Facebook post as well, just to get the information out there, and something that, I don't know what the answer to this is, so before I throw it out on the table, when we have the spots that we put the places for people to put carcasses in, now those little areas become a problem. That they will dump
everything.
Yes, and not only everything, but then it gets full, and then it starts getting piled up on other. And of course, we've got people who've been good enough to let us put these spots out there. But if you've got a neighborhood or somebody that lives next door, that you ain't even smelled nothing bad unless you smell one of these garbage cans that have carcasses that have been put in them. So I don't know what the answer is, but let's kind of be thinking about what we can do, because I get every year during, especially deer season, I get probably as many phone calls about that as I do almost anything else, just in terms of what complaining is going on. So I don't know what the answer is, but we got to have a place for people to put this stuff, but I just don't know how to fix it.
And maybe at those dump sites, we can coordinate, or task, along with that to do, put the proper signage up, maybe cameras up, because, people know they're being watched what they're dumping, you know, and.
Smile, you're on candid camera.
Yeah, smile, you know, just something, because, but you wanna make sure that everybody's educated and knows what's going on, and that we are truly trying to clean our county up and to move it forward in a positive manner, you know, not.
Well, I don't blame these folks that live downwind. I went out there and looked at some of them, and it's pretty rough.
So these litter signs, I know you put them all over the county, but would you all try and concentrate on, I guess, the roads that get the most litter?
That's what we'll put, yeah.
Start
putting those first, yeah. I'm actually gonna have my guys to start kind of identifying some of the worst little roads and put those out first on those.
I thought I saw Captain Word over there. I guess he's gone, but I'm sure he could help you with identifying the roads that get the most litter and he gets the most calls.
That's so important. When can we get started?
As soon as we get those signs in, and I'll work with Wayne and try to get those signs ordered in the next few days with what we're going on.
We were just talking about, we getting ready to put up the no litter sign.
Yes, sir.
And we were trying to identify the roads with the most litter that you get the most calls first, so we can start placing them. And I told you would have that information.
I'll take the top 5 today.
All right, well, with that being said, if the board doesn't have anything for me.
You want to cover requests now?
Yes, I'm sorry.
Let's start on this.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just, one I sent y'all, Danny Faulkner at 231 Whiteside.
Is this the access property for,
Sir?
is this the access property for?
Yes, sir. And I'll send you his number right now.
Oh, got it.
Is it in it? You have any more?
No, sir.
But before we move forward with that, we got a motion and a second on the litter. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Supervisor Little, for reminding me of that. Okay, well, did you make a motion for the cover request?
Yes, sir.
Was there any more we can
Is
take?
there any more covered requests? If not, we have one covered request.
Motion by Supervisor Carver, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Is there anything else for our road manager? If not, thank you so much.
Did you have another culvert request that you needed them to approve?
No, that's
misunderstood.
Motion to accept road manager's report.
Motion.
Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. We now have our Human Resource Officer, Ms. Jennifer Franklin.
So I'm here to talk about the broker of record and employee benefit services RFQ that we issued. We have a total of 4 proposals that we've received and are currently under review. Our next step is to invite those who most closely align with our needs to present to the board. To allow sufficient time for presentations and discussion, it's recommended that these be held during a separate meeting outside of the regular board meeting schedule. So I'd like to make a motion to confirm the date for a special meeting, perhaps this Friday or even the week of April 27th. Support moving forward with up to 3 presentations and establish the expectation that a final decision will be made closely following the conclusion of the presentations with the intent to do so on or before April 30th, which is next Thursday.
You need a special meeting maybe this Friday or the next week?
Yes, like to do it either this Friday or between the 27th and the 30th of next week. Friday the 24th?
No, I can't do this Friday. What's Monday's date next
The
week?
27th?
I proposed that day if y'all look at your calendars.
I can do it that afternoon late. I can't do it next Monday morning.
I'll be out this Friday. I can't do it at all.
Is this leading up to open enrollment? Well,
This is part of that timeline, yes. We need to have this in place before we can do open enrollment properly. So we need to make a decision when these people will present to us, yes.
and I guess you want the whole board to be
Yes, sir.
present for the presentation.
Yes, sir, because we will need to decide what company we're gonna go with,
Okay.
based off his presentations.
So right now, tentatively, we've got which date, the 27th?
2:30.
3 o'clock? How long is it gonna take the presentation?
We can give them a time frame, if we wanna say 15 minutes or 20 minutes to present.
Circuit is going on the 27th, just to give everybody a heads up, so.
If I have to do this at another location, I'll have to work and figure that out. We couldn't do that here.
The 27th at 3 o'clock, good for everybody?
Can we do it virtual?
I would think so. Because they'll be presenting just to make sure that you are able to see the screen. That would be up to Carl, I guess.
I would be certainly the supervisors can participate virtually. I would be extremely disappointed in a vendor that did not want to come and present in person.
Well, I don't think it's on them, I'm just saying because our schedule is so.
Yes, sir. I mean, the supervisors, obviously, you can attend virtually, but I
Okay, that's what I'm
want to be able to put my eyes on the folks that we're going to be working with going forward and have an opportunity, the feel of a virtual. I wouldn't want the vendor to present virtually personally.
That I agree with, but as far as you guys coming, I think they can make that presentation.
I'd like to do it at the next board meeting. Maybe we don't have any awards to give out, perhaps. We have enough time.
I think the time frame's too short.
Yes, sir, we're trying to get in based off the timeline, so that we're working backwards from October, mid-October when we get open enrollment, to give the organization enough time to get everything prepared and get our employees prepared. That's why we're trying to get it done by the end of April.
By the end of April.
Yes, sir. Which is next Thursday. April is going really, really fast. But I'll be happy to work with you, however, whatever we need to do.
To ask about Mr. Joe's question, if we were to do it in the next board meeting, that's too late. If we would have limited to 15 minutes of group.
We can put more time frame.
That would be May 4th.
Is that enough?
We can make it work.
Let's make it work then.
Can we limit their?
Yes, we can.
You want us to go 3 out of these 4 today?
No, well, Wayne and I've got to make the final decision, and then it'll be up to 3 that'll present in front of you.
I would want to make sure we give them enough time to be thorough, though, so we can make a good decision, not shorten them to the point to where,
They're rushed.
we're not getting all the answers we
Do you
need.
think 30 minutes is sufficient?
I would think 30 minutes would be.
More than,
Yeah, I would think 30 minutes.
Get there. 20, split it. We'll allow for questions too, so whenever we do the agenda, we'll allow for your questions.
So, at our next board meeting.
Okay, make a motion for the RFQ presentations to take place on Monday, May 4th.
Okay.
motion that we accept the recommendation to allow presentations to take place at our next board meeting.
A motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Trainer. All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Okay, next on the agenda, we've got County Administrator, Mr. Carpenter.
Hey, good morning. Sorry, I was trying to make a note on that day. If I walk out of here, you'll be able to remember. I have 2 items that I would like to present to you. The first item is a bid award for roadside spraying. We opened those bids on Friday. There's a bid tab in your packet. The apparent winner is Kim Pro Services. We've gone through this. I highlighted the information that you might be interested in regarding those two bids, and would appreciate a motion to award to Kimbrough Services as the lowest and best bidder in the amount of $107,477.26.
Move approval to award the bid to Kimbrough.
Been motion by Supervisor Carver and second by Supervisor Trainer that bid for spraying of our roadsides be awarded to Kimbrough. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
The next item on the agenda has been a topic of discussion for a number of months. I've been working diligently with Captain Word, Sheriff Phelps, Attorney Robertson, regarding establishing a policy for housing inmates in the county jail. Right now, the county does not have a policy. We have a standing agreement with the city of Starkville. That agreement is currently being reviewed. The sheriff has recommended that we adjust that agreement. In reviewing all of the back and forth between the city of Starkville and the sheriff's department and the standards that the sheriff is desired to set, also in consultation with Attorney Robertson, reviewing the statutes and appropriate Attorney General opinions, I present to you a policy that would establish the circuit court standard as the primary date of handoff on when a prisoner becomes a county prisoner. The other thing that it does is it also authorizes the sheriff to enter into in-kind assistance agreements with other counties and other sheriffs to facilitate public safety. Those things would be done temporarily and at no charge. It's a common practice throughout the state, but this formalizes that practice and allows and gives him the ability to keep the county administration and yourselves informed of what prisoners he may have in the jail that are not technically our prisoners and that are not being paid for. These kinds of in-kind assistance agreements, for example, if the sheriff were to have a prisoner that would be better suited to, say, stay over in the Clay County Jail due to, I don't know, some kind of conflict in the jail, and vice versa, they can enter into these arrangements to swap prisoners, and therefore, yes, sir.
So in that situation, if he goes out and you start making these contracts earlier, they get like a staggered tier price of what it was in here. Is that what we're saying? If y'all go out beforehand and
so the idea is, if we're going, there are 3 ways that a prisoner can be housed in the county jail. The first way is under contract, and we have created in this policy a standard template that would be used for anybody who wanted to house prisoners in our jail on a regular basis. The second method would be not under contract. And we would leave it up to the sheriff to determine whether or not he had the capacity and the ability to house those inmates. The person not under contract would pay a higher rate than someone who is under contract. And then the third method is the in-kind assistance type of agreement. That would be a temporary agreement, not to exceed 30 days. Now, it can be reviewed depending on the circumstance, but they would enter into an in-kind assistance agreement at no charge. The primary changes that you're seeing in this policy is, number one, a standardization of the template. We would use the same template for everybody, right? We may have to change up just a little bit, say if it's another county versus one of our municipalities, but essentially we've created a standard template. The second piece of this puzzle is establishing the circuit court standard, which in effect is indictment as the point in which a prisoner becomes the county's responsibility to house and no longer the municipality's responsibility to house.
we're trying to comply within the AG's office position on this. And just so that when next year we go to the legislature and let's say this comes up again, because this is something that's probably gonna come up, it is entirely possible that the standard could change. So I want to be very clear that just because we're talking about this today, it may change next year. The reason it didn't change this year is because the cities and the counties could not come up with a compromise that they either both liked well enough or they both disliked well enough to do it. And so it got kicked, typical legislative session, it got kicked off to the next year to continue this conversation. That was one of the reasons that our sheriff has been so diligent in terms of trying to put this together for us. And unfortunately, the legislature in its infinite wisdom has pushed this off for another year. So I want to be clear that the reason this didn't get signed off on before was because we thought maybe it was a good shot at getting some of this flushed out this year, and it did.
So does this grandfather in existing inmates?
No, sir. What we would do is at this point, we're currently under contract with the city of Starkville. That current contract they would need to swap over to the new agreements that established in the policy, at which time they would change from a bound over standard to a circuit court standard.
But it's not in the contract itself that we're sending them, because it will not fly under. This is just something that I do have to say that the Board of Aldermen and the mayor have been more than willing to try to help us figure this out. So this is, I want to be very clear that they haven't been part of this problem either. This is just, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Wayne, I apologize.
You're all right.
But the bottom line is that we have to have this contract signed off by the AG's office, and they're not going to sign off on an AG's office contract if it is counter to what they have stated. So that's the reason for that.
If I could add a little bit of context, the law is silent on when a prisoner converts from being a municipal prisoner to becoming a county prisoner. We're trying to use the policy to fill the gap in the law, trying to fill that silence by establishing a circuit court standard. The agreement itself, the standard template, in order not to have to redo an agreement every time something changed, right? If this law were to be passed, all we would have to do would be to update the policy, and then the agreements would remain in effect. Because the way the agreement reads is that this is done in accordance with Oktibbeha County's prisoner housing policy. The policy states the justice court standard. The policy states the out-of-contract standard. The policy states the in-kind agreement capacity that you would be given to the sheriff.
So we need to adopt a policy today.
The first thing would be to pass the resolution which adopts the policy as it's being presented. We would also need to approve the rate resolution, which establishes the non-contracted rate at $35 per day. And then finally, we would need to authorize the board president to issue the notification of new prisoner housing standards to all the municipalities. And that way, that starts the 60-day clock for when the current agreement, and we only have one, the current agreement with Starkville would end 60 days after that notification. And it would give all of them an opportunity to enter into an agreement, maybe Sturgis Starkville, where if they did house prisoners in our jail, they would pay the lesser rate.
And that's a motion collectively?
No, one at a time.
Individually?
One at a time. That's
one at a time.
You want to handle one at a time?
Yeah, let's pass the resolution first.
Motion to agree on the passage of the resolution.
Resolution to establish the prisoner housing policy.
Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Then we need to approve the resolution to establish the uncontracted rate of $35 per day.
Motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Trainer. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
And then the final motion would be to offer, sir.
Mr. President, that's $35 a day. Yes, you said it, but does that mean that it's gonna be at least $35 a day?
Anybody who's using our facilities who is not under contract would be required to pay $35 a day.
But it could be more.
Anyone who entered into contract, that would be negotiated at the time that the contract was entered into.
Right.
Right now, the state statutes dictate that that is $21 a day, $25 a day for the first 30 days, and then $32.71 for any days thereafter. And then any uncontracted person would pay the $35 a day rate.
Make a motion, that third one to.
The third one is to authorize the board president to notify all the municipalities in the county, and for Starkville in this case, it would start their 60-day notice of they need to enter into a new agreement.
Motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Carver. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. Oh, discussion.
Yeah, there's two more of the jail contracts and mutual aid, the templates, are they taken care of with that resolution? Or is that
The template and the mutual aid agreement are a part of the policy. So when you approve the policy, you approve the template and the mutual aid agreement.
Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously.
Subject to your questions, that concludes my portion of the meeting.
Anything else for our county administrator? Not, thank you, sir. Next on the agenda, we have, Sheriff's Department, Chief Deputy Maurice Johnson.
We don't have anything, just want to say thank you all for all you all do for the sheriff department and the county.
Thank you all.
We're coming though, we're coming.
Next on the agenda, we've got our Chancery Clerk, Ms. Livingston.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Next on the agenda, we've got our Board Attorney, Mr. Roberts.
We will have a lot of things coming at once. I do have, we do have movement on certain cases that are out there and some resolutions that are coming, but until I get those documentations in hand, I don't want to say anything until I have the paperwork in my hand so that I can share with everyone. But I'm just going to leave it at that. Yes, and I do actually have a corrected warranty deed that the board president feels like he's probably seen this before, and he has. They changed it one more time for us, and if I could have it, allowed to be signed. Pull this out without tearing it up.
Need a motion to.
Need a motion for a corrected warranty deed on the property that was sold by the sheriff department approximately 6 months.
Motion by Supervisor Little, second by Supervisor Carver. Any other discussion? All in favor? Motion passes unanimously. Can I get a motion to take a 5-minute recess? Yeah. Back in session. We'll entertain our final item on the agenda, underneath county business. But before we do that, let me just start to my immediate right. Supervisor Carver, do you have anything coming out of, District 1?
No, other than I just want to tell the board member, we're about half, 3/4 of the way through New Light. Just want to appreciate y'all again. It went all the way back to base repair, reclaim, 2 feet down, and then, have really become a safety issue. The last 2 miles is back to the gravel. My first time building a road as a supervisor, and I know y'all used to the amount of calls, but people just want to tell y'all, thank y'all personally, and making that a safe road. It's a major traffic count area, but it's interesting from my end to watch it from start to finish, and we're getting back. We'll probably start paving the final in about 2 weeks. And after that, don't go out there now. It's really dusty, but in a couple of weeks, I really want to invite y'all to come out and ride it and see the quality of work.
Anything coming from District 4, Supervisor Lewis?
No, we're just looking forward to getting a good start on those roads. I'm excited about it, so thank y'all very much.
I don't have anything coming from 3 except just a little reminder. We've got to just make sure we're careful about group texting on county business. That's all I'll mention with that. Supervisor Williams, District 5.
Oh, just in the planning stage in District 5. I'm glad to see that we are in the planning stage, so I'm expecting some progress in the very near future. So thank the road department for the hard work that they do.
Absolutely. District 2, Supervisor Train.
I wanted to, there was an email, I think I sent it to the county administrator, I don't know whether you had a chance to look at it, from UHY concerning a possible matching grant opportunity. I don't know whether you had a chance to look at it or not.
I did look at it. I guess my question to you and the board hasn't expressed anything to me of an interest to do a large safety study. And that seemed to be what the grant was concerning. It was not road construction or those kind of things. It appeared to be a robust safety study grant of some kind that required an 80-20 match. If the board is interested in that, if y'all could give me a little better guidance as to what the scope of that might entail, I'll be happy to work with UHY to try and shape a proposal.
But I think we would at least need to consider it, because I mean, we have their service on the contract, and they're bringing something to us that may be an interest. And so I would like to see us at least get it and try to pursue it. I mean, safety is something that's important, along with all the other things that we deal with. And so, and I know it's a matching grant, but at the same time, it looks like to me like it was a possibility it could be utilized to help enhance a roadway somewhere within the county. So I was hoping you could do a little due diligence on it and report back to the board about it.
I will. I'll be glad to do that. I desperately need some help from y'all. I mean, what do we want to do a safety study on? And I will try and provide some additional information to y'all, and if y'all can assist me in developing a scope of work and try and figure out what we would need to propose.
I guess are we still under contract? We entered into a contract for a year. Is that year up, or are we still, I don't remember renewing.
I'll pull that thing up, so I don't know off the top of my head.
I think we did renew it.
Did we
renew it? We just, I mean, when they bring stuff to us, we're going to need to be made aware of it so we can pursue it. And I know that the county administrator and administrator has a lot of projects going on, but it seems like to me like some of these opportunities could be made known and we can decide. I think it would be good somewhere with all of the things we're having, and fatalities and roadways and things of that nature. I know we had one on Cannon Road, and I think we had one on State Highway last week. And see, look, these things, and it's to me, you can't wait until they happen to try to correct it. You got to try to get it corrected before something happens and be a little bit more proactive. So, but if you can, I mean, just report back to the board on it, and because a lot of this stuff is time sensitive. And one of the problems we've had in the past is we get the notice too late, and there's a short turnaround, and then you can't do it because it's overwhelmed. So
is that on a particular section or is it just in general?
It could be in general, it doesn't have to be in a particular district. I mean, I know we got some roads out there that's got a lot of traffic on them, something we're looking at doing. And,
It's comprehensive.
It's a comprehensive safety. Okay.
Maybe our county administrator can do a little bit more due diligence and report back to the board.
But we got the service for UAY, and I think they're very capable of doing a lot of good work for us, but we have to utilize it. You know, when they give us a report monthly, if I'm not mistaken, right?
They give us a report on what they've researched, yes, sir. This is only, I'm trying to remember, I don't wanna undersell it. This grant, and then they did reach out to me regarding, Congressman Guest's, application, which we were already working with, Elizabeth Reagan Pickering to work through all of that. So, to my knowledge, that's really the only thing that we've had an opportunity to pursue.
Well, just communication, and I know, and I bring a lot of stuff, and I send you a lot of stuff, and I know your time turnaround is you got so many things going on, and you and I had this conversation about this and various other things, and but I don't know any other way to do it. Maybe we need to get an assistant administrator. Because of all the things that overwhelming and the turnaround time will handle stuff. I don't know. Because I mean, I want us to be very competitive in all these opportunities that come out there, but if they're overwhelming to you, then we may just look at getting you some assistance. But that leads me into our presentation for today. I would like for the board, if you will, to, I guess, transition to our presentation for today. That's dealing with a project that, if you all can recall, back in 2024, we brought to the board an opportunity about a new approach and an enhancement on what we're doing that would help to benefit our roadways. And at the time, we entered into somewhat of a service level agreement with the Novasoil to look at doing a project on Cannon Road. But after a lot of thorough investigation and after also a lot of opportunities that are out there, we're wanting to look at amending that service level agreement with some added caveats that would probably be beneficial to the county. And so what we wanted to do, we wanted to bring in Mr. Brazili and also Mr. Head with Head Contract and give us an overview of where we are with the Cannon Road Rehabilitation Project, and also to take under consideration some recommendations that would make this project be a model project that would be something that could not only be utilized and be good here for our Duval County, but for the state, for the region, and also for individuals who are looking at doing some unique things and trying to deal with some challenges and some issues that we're having with our current way of approach. I remember back in 2004 when it was brought to us to utilize soil cement. People were very skeptical of that and very concerned about it. One was the cost, and of course the other was, I suppose, the methodology. But since then, we've been using soil cement, fly ash, and other stabilizers, clay gravel and things like that. We've been utilizing it pretty heavily with the county. But we have come to the understanding that there are some other opportunities out there that can help us to improve our road and our infrastructure system. So at this time, I want to bring an Novasoil and Heads Up Contracting up. They want to lead us through this presentation and give you some updates of where we are and the reason why we got to that, and also for the board to consider further due diligence and investigation into our recommendation we want to recommend to move forward with Cannon Road.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We've met, I think, a year and a half ago, maybe. Time flies. Anyway, just to follow up on Supervisor Trainer's comments, this road was due to start last summer, but after careful consideration, also with head construction, we determined that the road, the scope as we had planned it, would not be an efficient way to deal with the problematics. We have substructure failures and water intrusions and right-of-way issues that go beyond the Novasoil. So There are some civil works that need to be added to the list. I'm just gonna take you really quickly through what we have discovered. So the problems we're seeing are obviously, well, let's talk about the original scope. So what we were going to do is essentially stabilize the road without doing any civil works of much meaning. So the problem is cars can't pass each other. They have to essentially drive on the shoulder and into the ditch. So that's a problem in itself. We were going to place the clay gravel, but that doesn't change. That road needs to be elevated. There are sections where it falls too low as far as elevation, and that area floods constantly. So that's another issue. And obviously no drainage or shoulders were present. This would have given you a short-term improvement, a likely failure over a short term, which we can't afford as a company to back that up. So that's also the change of scope is also because of the accountability issues. The shoulders were breaking down on the edges. Ongoing maintenance would have been a burden, and as I said, it would have been an inefficient use of your funds. The current reality is there's continuous damage since our initial assessment a year and a half ago. That damage has continued to exacerbate. So right now we have a very structurally unstable road. We have a lot of water infiltration, no drainage, low elevation, and as I said before, edge breakdowns. We also did some field testing of our own, which, by the way, all these tests we do are ASTM standard testing. We found that the average strength modulus of the road is around 50 megapascals. Now, I know that we're not all experts in geotechnical terms, but to put it simply, a minimum for that road should be above 80. And you have low points of 26. What's even more important is the deflection. The average deflection is 0.75. It should be less than 5. You have peaks of 1,260 of deflection. That means the traffic load is deflecting past the subgrade, which means that continuous traffic load is going to break the road down eventually. So our minimum standards by contract are going to be to bring that road above, equal to or above 80 megapascals and less than 0.50 deflection. So root cause of the failure here is water infiltration, water intrusion, and secondarily lack of lateral confinement, traffic driving into shoulders, saturated subgrade, and this cycle is just repeating itself. The revised scope and what we would like to propose is a full drainage system, a proper drainage system. Some culverts need to be replaced. I think just two culverts, correct?
They're gonna be simultaneously, gonna be side by side, so to make sure you get the maximum amount of drainage in that area.
We need to raise, there's a section of the road that essentially, the road, if you look at the road sideways, it essentially goes like that.
That's where the culverts are. So whenever you get a good rain or heavy rain, it crosses the road, and eventually it's gonna cut the road in two. And I think that's what's gonna happen. Just going and patching the road where the water covers it. So my proposal is to raise it up 3 foot and widen it, and also get your drainage out to the end of your pipes. So if you notice on your drainage, you don't ditch your ditches straight to the pipe, because what you're gonna do is it's gonna cause a swirling effect. It's gonna erode and eventually go through the road. And I'm just going to put it back to a state standard where you slope it out to the end of the pipes, rip-wrap on the end, and also on the east end of it is build your catch basin. So where the water doesn't just penetrate that pipe, in that catch basin, the water will collect and then it will go through those pipes, gradually. instead of forceful. And then that's gonna affect the downfall of it too. So you won't have any blowouts.
So the plan is to expand on Mr. Head's comments. So full ditching, we're gonna raise the road. We're gonna do an InnovaSoil MH72 and MH44 application. What that means is we're going to reinforce the base. Now, unlike soil cement, we're not going to create a brittle foundation. It's a flexible foundation. So it moves with traffic. It doesn't crack. So you have the reinforcement, the flexibility, and on top of that, to protect the base, we're going to put in hydrophobic, this is a next generation technology that we do to protect the base layers that we treat. So it prevents water from moving into any spaces that it finds. And as you know, water finds spaces that we can't even imagine. So this will further extend the lifespan of the road. So our objective is to defer your maintenance on your roads. What we do should last much, much longer than you're accustomed to. And of course, we'll get to it, but we're also going to back it up with a warranty. We're going to give you a 3-year warranty on anything we do that fails, we will fix it. Of course, mostly everything, unless there are acts of God, floods, things that that are completely out of our control. So we're going to be we're going to be widening this road to 22 feet so traffic runs smoothly on both sides. Cars don't run into the ditches or onto the shoulders. This will increase safety and give us a better water management system. The drainage is a huge impact, so all of the things we're going to do with drainage are going to prevent that water from further eroding the subgrade.
So, let me ask you.
Yes.
Have you expanded your role? Because initially your role was to just have somebody on site to ensure that the product is mixed properly. So you're saying now that we are going to expand, widen the road, so have your duties expanded? I mean, do you have a construction crew now? Is that what you're saying?
Our approach is an integrated approach. So that in order for us to give you that warranty, we have to be in control of the process. So if I'm not in control of the whole process, I can't guarantee the final outcome. So to answer your question, we are always on site.
No.
No,
do you bring in construction equipment?
No, I bring in.
Yes, we bring everything. From
I do. He has the product and the technology. I do the active work.
Everywhere we go, we certify local contractors. And after the due diligence that we've done on Mr. Head, he is the most qualified that we have been able to identify for this type of process. And he is certified for the application, the proper application of the InnovaSoil products. I do, but they're not. We did a 2.2 mile road in Noxubee County last summer.
Let me introduce myself, William Head. I've talked to you. I know Mr. Carpenter back there, worked with him for years. Sir, just to let you know, you did a marvelous job on those citations. Usually I had to critique your citations, when you sent them up to me for approval back in the day, But he and I worked on a lot of projects. He is y'all got a great guy. Great guy. He's real knowledgeable. Now, what I do is I come in and on your job, like on Cannon Road, I came in and what I do, I visit the road during the most inopportune time, during the rain. So I actually studied what your road is doing. Because you can't, once it dries, you can't tell anything. So several times I've been in floods, I've been on Cannon Road, so that's how I knew how to flood. Now, on your width of your road, we were going to go at first in 2004 with just the width of the road as it was. But, after seeing that, I said, that's not going to be good money spent. Because you don't want to spend money and then 6 months later, you're back patching the road. That just is about. So Orlando did his due diligence. They got a landowner, and got permission to go on and get the land and widen the road. So I said, that's the only thing that we've got to do is widen the road there, but the rest of it I have to know. So 22 foot we're proposing, but we're gonna pave 20. Gonna pave 20. So that gives you a foot of shoulder on each side of the road. So as you know, the worst traffic for a road is a car running off the road because you got more pound per square inch on that tire. A car finds a pothole, and y'all know, as you supervisors, you know those potholes in the road. It doesn't come by trash trucks. You know you gotta have trash trucks on the road and cars and people running off the road. The first thing that a road starts deteriorating is where? On the edges, right? And then it starts to penetrate on inside the road. Well, he has some pictures. We did a road in Knoxville County, and it was a farm road. I'm just gonna tell you the truth. It was a farm road. I had to lock in 4-wheel drive just to run down the road. And that's it. He has some pictures. And the people they used to come out and tell us that when it rained, that they had to make sure before it rained that they went to town to get groceries. Because there's no way that they were going to get out, doing that. If you see the pictures, and I implore all of you to go down to Knoxville County, down in Brooksville, and look at those roads. It's got 2 chicken farms on the road. You have heavy farm equipment, and the road doesn't have a blemish. I mean, and it's been almost a year next month. It will been a year that we've done it. So I have great praise for NovaSoil and the techniques that I bring to the table. I've done it for 40 years. I did it with my dad. I've done some projects in the National Guard, and Mr. Carter tell you I repaired runways over there in Iraq. And I think the runways they still running on them, sir. So my field of expertise when it comes down to road building is vast. My dad did for 60 years. Chip off the old shoulder, So we want to bring you a good product, and we want to bring you some expertise. Not saying that the county doesn't have expertise, but I've seen I've done it in Germany, I've done it in Iraq, I did it in Afghanistan. We've always built roads, and all my roads still standing. So what we want to bring you is what we're presenting here, and I know that you'll be satisfied with it, and I know after we do that one road, the Cannon Road, you'll be back. You'll come back and say, hey, can you do something in my district? And we just want you to, rely on us to. And any question that you have with me, please feel free. I did this presentation in Jackson, and we've got to go to Carroll, Kahoma, Holmes County.
We have several projects coming up. We all, by the way, NovaSoil also works with DOTs. We have projects coming up at New Mexico DOT. We have Tennessee DOT. We did a road for. We're doing roads. We're actually going to start a pilot project for MS-DOT as well. So just to add that into the experience list. Maybe go over the cost overview.
Yes. So as you know, fuel has went up tremendously. So we had to at first it was like $29,000, but with everything that we've added, the widening of the road, we had some clearing and grubbing, we got some pipe installation. It ran, the price of the road work is $114,000 instead of $29,000, and everything I've got it itemized on what you're paying for as far as the construction part. Now, the NovaSoil, he have to explain to you about his NovaSoil and his costs. But those things are, and this is really not, making a whole lot of money just to give you that product. But hey, at least I'm in the black, I'm good. You know, I'm retired military and so I don't depend on this. I just like doing it, you know, because it reminds me of my father, you know, when we work together. But I am in it for profit. Y'all don't believe it. It's nothing for free.
So, civil works have gone up to 114,000. Within the grubbing, we have to remove at least 50 trees.
Yes.
So that in itself is an endeavor. There's a lot of earthwork to be done, especially with the elevation of the low parts of the road. And Oversoil hasn't changed really from the original contract. And we've also discounted it a bit. So that's a total on our end of 189. Separate from an Oversoil, but integrated into an Oversoil, is the application of the clay gravel, which we will do, and the DBST application, which the county will do. It seems to me that's a very economical price of 106 all included.
Will the county haul that, playground?
Yes, sir. Yes.
And the one we did in Knoxville County, what brought their cost up because they didn't have county-owned trucks to haul the playground. I think they had one truck that helped them haul.
Yeah, well, Knoxville ended up paying, those 2.2 miles cost them over $400,000.
Yeah, but that's 2.2 miles.
Yeah.
And soil also speeds the process up. Usually to set a road, how long do y'all take to set y'all a good road up?
We can do a mile in about a week, I think, with the way, soil seeding comes in. It takes about a week to set up a mile.
And see, what we did, we set 2.2 miles in 1 week and 4 days. So that's, the process to me, it speeds up, the setting of the road and the technique that I use. Knoxville County kept us, and Knoxville County paid them to come and do some, priming for us. That's to put some primer down as a base protection. So, that guy, his operator was very impressed on the hardness of the road. And like I said, they have feed trucks and chicken trucks coming on the road all the time, plus farm equipment, and it's not a blemish on the road. Gene said they had one spot in the road and it was because of nefarious reasons. And the county had to charge the guy because he was moving the house trailer and tipped over and they dug the road up.
Into
the ditch.
So I guess, so I'm keeping up 114 for your cost right now, 189 for your cost right now, which is 303,000.
No, 189 is total for us.
For both of
Yeah.
them. And that's, okay, that's not counting material for the DBST and
DBST is separate.
So that's separate cost.
And that annual maintenance cost, either standard or comprehensive, which is 11,000 or 21,000.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have that in the contract yet, so it's really up to the board to decide if, our goal in Mississippi is to adopt the roads we build. Essentially, we say to the county, we'll come in, we'll fix it, we'll add the technology, we'll maintain it, and we'll make sure it's always pristine so that you can focus on other roads every year instead of going back to the same roads and having to maintain them. So there are several packages that we can offer you, but that's going to be a separate agreement if the county wishes to go in that direction. So there are two things we're offering here. Well, three actually. The ongoing maintenance programs, the warranty, that's on us. And we also have a way we're willing to finance the invoice, our total invoice. So if you guys need a 6-month deferral on the invoice or a 12-month deferral on the invoice, we're glad to entertain that. So So those are the additional three components to help the county deal with their cash flow needs. I think the rest that we have here is a repetition, but the warranty covers it's a 3-year limited warranty. We can fix that contractually to make the county as comfortable as possible. So we have standard contracts, but whatever language needs to be modified, we're happy to entertain it. This covers structural performance under normal use. Obviously, we get timber trucks going down the road that we didn't know about, because it is a low volume road as we speak. Anything that's unusual as far as traffic, obviously, any damage that comes from that, if we're warned ahead of time, obviously we can work around it. So everything we do aligns with measurable outcomes. There's no surprise. So the long-term maintenance packages, this basic package is obviously there's no charge to this because it's in our interest to make sure that road is always pristine. So we'll do annual inspections, we'll give you a report on the road. We will give you ASTM standard testing, so you will have actual numbers for the road. As opposed to just having a visual understanding of what's going on the road, you'll actually have an X-ray of how the road is performing over time. A standard package would include inspection and minor corrective work, and a comprehensive one will be a full life cycle management of the road. So we would take care of that road completely.
And you mentioned earlier, 3-year warranty.
Yes, sir.
So after 3 years, then how does that work? Because
well, if
I'm assuming this is monitoring the road for those 3 years.
Yeah, absolutely. But if we do if we do enter an ongoing maintenance package, then even after the 3-year expiration of the warranty, we would have a responsibility to make sure that road is pristine anyway. So it would almost be a continuous warranty, if you will.
And usually, DBS, they correct me if I'm wrong. Usually DBS, you want to do, if you do the DBS in 3 years, you want to start looking at what they call reseal. So that's just ongoing maintenance. That's just, you come in, instead of putting the double layer on it, the mat and then the seal, you'll just come in, sweep the road, repair if it has any edge, edge deterioration, you patch the edges, then you'll come in and just shoot a light layer of seal on it. And it goes really fast, and it's just a maintenance. It's just a maintenance piece, because every road is going to start trying to, or what we call micro crack, and that's when you start having your water infiltration. And once the water penetrates, and wintertime comes, it freezes. What happens? It bubbles, and then when a big truck runs over it, it cracks. Then you got to pop over that. And, you just got to understand that maintenance will have to happen on the road, But we're monitoring, just like I'm monitoring Brooks. And whenever I see a problem in Bruce's district on those 2 miles, I give him a call and say, hey, Bruce, you had a truck run on the road, you need to have somebody come in and patch the edge before it starts wrapping. So, because he didn't get the warranty package like he said, well, we take care of the road. So I just go and I monitor his roads.
So you all even take care of the reseal after 3 years or so?
Now, I don't have.
If you got the
if I had
maintenance package.
Yeah, if I had the equipment now, because I'm just retiring, and I just got to build up my portfolio, and then I'm going to. I know how to reseal. I know how to do ESD. That's no problem. But getting out here, getting back in the saddle, as you say, and we actually oversaw B&M paving, and we made sure that they paved it right. And that's why the road turned out so good, because sometimes you have contractors come in and don't care about the work. They just come in and they want that money, they'll shoot all, and you know, and Vic can tell you, if you're shooting twice, if you don't make a full cover or overlap that center line, then you're gonna get a pothole right in the middle of it because it's not covered.
But I guess my question is, you mentioned the continuing maintenance of the road. So based on what you said, after 3 or 4 years, it's about time to reseal. If you've got that continuing maintenance coverage, do you do the reseal underneath that coverage?
We make sure there's a structure, we guarantee the structural integrity of the road. Anything that has to do with the wearing course, which means DBST and so on and so forth, is not included in that.
Okay.
Because the DBST is obviously not our work.
Okay.
But again, our objective here is not to run away from responsibility. If the road has an issue, even if it's not our responsibility or outside of the warranty, we would be foolish to say, well, it's not my responsibility, it's your problem. That's not gonna happen. So it's just not good business for us. So rest assured that we will always be taking care of the roads we build.
I'm just trying to get a little clarity on
Yeah.
that.
No,
you're
on that
absolutely right.
maintenance agreement.
Feel free to call, I built, I think 5 roads in Clay County for Lynn Horton. I built 5 roads for him, that was before No Soil, and No Soil Road there turned out to look better because they already done started patching, but that was because the contractor that came in did exactly what I said, and I warned Lynn, because I was infamous about it. It's not me overlapping that talk. And I said, you're gonna have potholes in the middle of the road. And sure enough, 9 months down the road, we started developing potholes in the middle of the road because he didn't get a good cover. So,
In any event, the objective of our operation is to defer your maintenance, increase the life cycle of your roads, and reduce that continuous yearly maintenance grading. Our roads, you never have to grade again. You never and never adding gravel. You cannot even grade the roads anymore because they're hard surfaces with no loose material. So there'll be no dust. There'll be no grading. There'll be no gravel. And maintenance is deferred. And again, we're offering the warranty. We're offering the financing of extending any invoice that we present to you. 6 months, 12 months, whatever your choice. And this road has been on the table for 1.5 years now, so we'd love to get started if you allow us the opportunity. That's all we have. Any other questions? We're open.
Anything else?
I'm not prepared to vote down anything, but I would like to go, who can I go look at that road and look so real? I'd like to put some boots on the ground and see the actual product, so is that, can I ride with you up there one day and look at it?
Sure.
I'd like to do that.
Man, we can do that today if we want. I'm proud of my work. I'm very proud of my work. So I take pride in everything I do.
Mr. Chairman, what I would like to do is propose a motion or suggest a motion rather to allow our Novasoil and our legal team along with our county administrator to do due diligence, on this particular project to determine its sufficiency. There are some recommendations from the county administrator. They wanted to do a thorough review about the contract and some other things to make sure that everything was allowed by law and it was appropriate based upon the current procurement status, procurement expectations. So I would like to suggest that we authorize them to do that and to make a report back to the board at our next meeting and maybe determine a path forward. And as far as the deferred maintenance, I do know with these other projects we got going on that we don't have any funding at the time. But hopefully when funding is available, this project can possibly move forward, or we could take one of the options that's presented to us as it relates to the financing option. I think that's something unique. I've never known that particular opportunity to happen. So Novasoil and Heads Construction, they're willing to work with the county to do something unique. And I'm excited about it because I think that this will be something that will be beneficial to not only our residents, but also we would be leading the effort, but we won't be leading because Brooks and Knoxville County beat us. And the only reason why they beat us was because their structure, the way they operate within the beach system, gives them a lot more flexibility than it gives us in the unit system. But nonetheless, I think this project has a lot of potential. I think it'd be very good for our region. And I'm just excited that we're able to identify individuals who are able to make it happen. And they're willing to sit down with us if there are some problems or something that the attorney finds to be an issue. Then we got enough flexibility with a public and private partnership that I think we can make things happen. And I think an Novasol and head construction in the county would be a wise investment and a wise venture for us to consider. So I'd like for us to allow them to do the due diligence, report back to the board, do all they can, put it in AI, Gemini, whatever. I mean, whatever we need to do to determine all the pros and cons behind what we do, and report back to the board.
Got a motion to allow county administrator and board attorney to do further due diligence on this project. It's just to be clear, that's all you want right now is for them to do further due diligence, because I'm assuming there's some concerns about the contract and things of that nature.
I just need to make certain that they are considered the one source. We don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops to make sure of that. And then there's just actually looking at it, make sure I understand what we're talking about doing. There are some questions I have, but we can deal with my questions.
Yeah, sure. Then to go further, before we move any further, we've got to identify funding sources. So, I'll second that motion. Been moved and second to allow our county administrator and our board attorney to do due diligence on the contract coming from Ingersoll. Any other discussion?
This does conclude that there is no opportunity to provide funding. Right. We're not talking about funding, we're just talking about due diligence.
Absolutely not.
I just want to make that clear.
Absolutely. Any other? All in favor? Motion passes. Okay, 5-0. All right.
Thank
you very much. Appreciate
you. I was just messing with your, it's an officer and enlisted thing.
You all do roads without DBST and leave them as just roads not paved.
Yeah.
Roads not paved. Yeah. And I heard you say that there's no dust.
That's correct. We can reduce dust by.
You don't have to grade them or anything like that.
And that's on the gravel road?
On gravel roads? On paved roads, yeah.
No, I mean gravel roads that aren't gonna be dusty anymore, like never ever again dusty.
Yeah, we would have to study the approach, but yeah, we would reduce dust by at least 90%.
So is this a product then you just come in and sort of mix in the gravel and the dirt in your product? And then that
correct.
Locks it in.
You would have to seal it. I misunderstand, you'd have to seal it. I don't.
Yeah, we would seal it. Yeah.
What would you seal it with?
With our, with this technology that we seal our base layers with.
So what you would do, you would still want to set the road and reach compaction. Because, you don't want a road to just be dusty and it not be set. So
you still need.
So you're talking about having to rebuild the road and then do it again?
Yes, basically.
You would have to stabilize the road and then spray it with this particular technology.
All right, well, need a motion to adjourn. Motion by Supervisor Williams, second by Supervisor Little. All in favor? Thank you all for coming.
All right. You give